Whether it's all the scouts, the coaches, the training staff, the medical group, Dave, PR, social media, Stu and his group, EK and his group for putting this coming weekend on, which we're having, 72 players involved in this mini camp, and drafted players, rookie free agents, and then tryout players. But just very, very appreciative of everybody's efforts and everything that went into the whole draft. Ted Thompson would say, "Welcome to Green Bay, God rest his soul." Ted Thompson was the gentleman that drafted Steve Hutchinson. And I was blessed enough to work for him here the year we drafted Hutch, and then in Green Bay for a number of years. But it's a beautiful day here in Seattle, and he would call it a Chamber of Commerce day here. So pretty awesome, beautiful day here, and we're here to celebrate Gray Zabel. So on behalf of Jody Allen, Bert, Chuck, Mike, and his staff, I know your folks are working or watching, right? Mark and Tana, and I just want to let your parents know that you're in great hands with the people in this building, and we're going to do whatever we can to help you be a successful player and to help us be a world championship team. So with that, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Gray, what has the last week been like for you from draft to now?
Quick, surreal, whirlwind of emotions, super fun. Anything you could possibly think of. I mean, it's a lifelong dream to be able to say you got drafted, let alone be drafted to the Seattle Seahawks. So what a surreal experience this past week has been.
When will it sink in, or when did it sink in?
Still hasn't sunk in yet. I got to wake up and pinch myself every single morning that I get to play for the Seattle Seahawks, and it probably never will sink in.
Have you had conversations with Hutch since I was?
Yeah.
Okay, so the smile says party. Go on.
Yeah. Hutch has been awesome throughout this kind of experience. I mean, he interviewed me down at the Senior Bowl. He interviewed me at the Combine. He's been a real mentor this past week, and being able to ask him kind of all the questions that a rookie or a new guy has been unbelievable, and super grateful for him.
Great. Quarterbacks, receivers get a lot of publicity. Are you a little surprised by how excited a fan base is about offensive line here?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like you said, those guys are normally getting all the publicity, but super cool that the 12s is kind of bought into me and kind of had my back through this, and it's been awesome and super excited for this fall.
When you were doing weight training in the morning and captain's practices all those years, at what point did this become a possibility to you, a realistic possibility?
Probably Thursday night when I got that call from a Washington area code. That's when it became kind of real and surreal moment that this was going to be a possibility.
What's something that Jalen Sundell taught you in college in your time together?
Yeah, I think Jalen's a master of his craft. I mean, I was fortunate enough to room with him. He was kind of a big brother to me throughout college, and what an awesome deal that I was able to join him here at the Seahawks. So he's taught me a lot of lifelong lessons, and super excited to hopefully learn some more from him here.
What were some of the lifelong lessons he taught you?
How to clean up after yourself, probably how to do laundry. Yeah, he's one of my good buddies for sure.
What did you learn about yourself through this process?
Just continue to bet on yourself, outwork everybody, and kind of have that chip on the shoulder mentality throughout the entire process. Just hard work and dedication to a craft can take you a long ways.
You see a lot of clips of people screaming and yelling on sidelines, but what does leadership look like in an offensive line room?
I would say sweat equity is number one. Like, you never want to ask somebody to do something you aren't willing to do or have done. So I think in the offensive line room, sweat equity plays a huge role in leadership and understanding you got to put in the work, put in the time to be able to lead, and then understanding that you're blocking for somebody else, you're protecting somebody else, and the highest level you can do that at is making sure nobody touches your other guy. So I think in the offensive line room, it's a unique kind of trait to have, being a leader there. But there's some great ones out there for sure.
John, you obviously drafted the football player first and foremost, but how big of a factor was it to add the kind of personality that Gray has to that offensive line room?
Yeah, great question. I think really the thing that really stood out about Gray, personally, besides what Kirk and Trent and the guys that went into the school and we're saying about him, was just being there firsthand at the Senior Bowl and watching him steal reps from people. We were standing there, we're like, well, this guy's. Funny story, Hutch and Trent, right when we got down there, were like, this guy's really struggling with his. They were talking about a different player. I'm like, this guy's really struggling with his confidence. I thought they were talking about Gray. And I'm watching the practice. I'm like, this guy's not struggling with his confidence at all. I'm like, you guys are crazy. But he was literally like, he couldn't wait. He was taking reps at center, left guard, right guard. He was like taking reps from people. And you stand right there. And yeah, I think just seeing that competitor and the want to and it's just like I'm here to, like he said, chip on his shoulder and ready to let it rip. And he was into it. He's competing his tail off, and it was really impressive to see firsthand when you're right there.
John, I know we've asked you a lot about the offensive line in the offseason, but now that you're kind of through the draft and the free agency process, how do you feel about the whole group as a whole, kind of now that you're going to get on the field now with everything?
Yeah, we like it. We like it a lot. It's going to be highly, highly competitive. We had a group of 4 guys. Thank God, God willing, Gray was at the top of it, and it fell that way. But when we came out of the combine, we felt fairly confident that we'd be able to get one of those 4 guys, and things just fell that way.
John, what was the game or the year, or how did Gray get on your radar? When did you really start watching?
With Kirk and Trent, coming back from the school, and they have a great reputation there. I think Trent was telling me this morning, the last 5 years, I think the number of snaps is like the North Dakota State's like 25th or 26th of all the schools, in the National Football League. And so it's just these guys come out of there like very well coached. They're highly competitive. They're smart, and there's a lot of want to there, and those are great traits.
Speaking of your coach, Gray, he mentioned that when you're locked in on the field, you like to talk a little bit to your opponents. Is that true?
A little bit. Offensive line, you can't score. You can't catch a pass. You can't do any of that. So when you block a guy extremely well, sometimes you got to let him know. And I think that's the fun and joy of playing offensive line. But at the same time, you got to stay humble in your ability.
Gray, what do you think tomorrow will be like for you when you do get on the field for the first time wearing at least an NFL jersey?
It's going to be surreal. To wear the Seahawk logo on your chest has been kind of a dream. Super excited. Anytime you get to tie the cleats up and hit the grass, you got to be grateful. It's a get-to mentality, not have-to mentality. So I get to go practice tomorrow and show up to one of the best jobs you could possibly have.
Gray, I think you're the first from Riggs High School in Pierre to be in the NFL, or drafted in the NFL, I should say. What's that mean to you? What have you heard back from them and the people back there? They're excited about this.
Yeah, just the community of sport has been unbelievable. Pierre is a sports town, a sports community. Super grateful for the support that they've given me throughout this process. We had a little draft party that Friday night, and there was probably 700 or so people there showing up. So being able to do this for the community, for the kids there, is a cool experience.
Any Busch Light left in Pierre?
There might be a few, but not a lot.
Are you willing to switch to Rainier?
Just kind of depends. I haven't tried it yet. I know that's a huge brand up here in the Pacific Northwest. So hopefully if we have good OTAs, we can maybe try a few.
Have you gotten to meet? I said, have you gotten to meet or know any of the other draft picks yet, Jalen Milroe or anybody like that?
Yep. So Jalen and Elijah, I played with them down at the Senior Bowl. Two unbelievably talented human beings, and super competitive, and super excited to continue to play with them.
Gray, I'm sure you're excited to block for any of the quarterbacks on this staff, but is it kind of exciting to be drafted with another quarterback to kind of go through this rookie camp and kind of develop alongside Jalen?
Absolutely. To learn the offense with him, if I have any questions or kind of concerns with anything, to have a guy to be able to bounce it off of and understand the offense, like I said, is going to be super important, and it's going to be super impactful for our careers moving forward.
How'd you decide on 76?
Well, that was kind of the equipment staff's idea, and I had to ask Hutch if it was okay to wear it, and he was all for it and super excited for it. So I mean, it's no better number to wear in Seattle history. So.
What was it like being in?
Brothers, it's pretty cool. They have a relationship.
What was it like being in the building on Saturday and giving the call to Mason? He was really pumped about it. So how was it from your perspective?
My heart was beating through my chest. Like, can hardly remember what I said. What a cool experience, and I mean, I have to thank Mr. Schneider here for letting me do that. But when I'm standing in the back of the draft room with Coach McDaniel, and he calls me up to make a draft call, I was a little nervous. Let's say that.
You thought it was a prank call. Did you know that?
How the weekend went with prank calls and stuff, I probably would have thought the same exact thing. But yeah, it was a cool deal.
Is there a part of your game that you think maybe people don't know about? Maybe it's underestimated that you're something you worked on, you're proud of?
Man, probably just mentality. That's the thing I kind of hang my hat on is protecting the quarterback and moving the line of scrimmage. And you can't really measure that with a number of some sort. It's all kind of a mindset. So I would say that's the one thing that you probably can't measure about my game.
Anything else? Have you met Robbie Utes yet?
I haven't, but he's got a hell of a mustache.
That's my next question. You and Brady wrestled Robbie Utes. We're going to have a mustache contest or something.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Good job.